Know that Rizal is sentenced to death by a firing squad at Bagumbayan at December 30, 1896. So, Jose Rizal died at the age of 35. So, Jose Rizal's legacy are perpetuated deeply in our minds and hearts today. So, hangtod karon na pagyapon ang mga legacy ni Rizal, na iyang mga binuhat, iyang mga tawag ni mga poem, ganon, etc. So, the wilderness of his teachings, of his concepts, and inspiring directives for the Filipino. So, Sir Rizal is napachay love of God. Maragnani sa iya ang love of God. So, Rizal was born and raised as a Catholic. So, during his childhood years, his mother, which is si Doña Teodora, she taught him basic prayers in Latin. So, when he left for his studies abroad, Rizal assured of his trust in God. So, pagbiyan niya sa iyang lugar, iyang gisalig sa Ginoo, iyang paglakaw. So, when his sister Olympia died after childbirth, Jose Rizal remarked that they put and risk everything in the will of God. So, pagkamatay ni Olympia, iyang gikuan nga maybe will good to sa God nga inato. Napod si Rizal nationalism and patriotism. Jose Rizal's great works taught the Filipino how to attain the freedom and independence that they have longed for so many years. So, si Jose Rizal po is ginutudloan niya ang mga Filipino saan pag-attain sa freedom o kung saan gyud ang nagay freedom ang Pilipino then saan kanang independence nga nawala sa Pilipino for how many years. So, si Rizal is na for courage. Jose Rizal was courageous in expressing his love for the country. His moral courage to do only what is best for the Filipinos and securing the welfare of the citizens in order to keep their trust and love for the nations, especially for our leader today. So si Rizal ang iyang courage is ni Rizal is para lang sa kaayuhan sa mga Filipino. So, Jose Rizal decisions to return to the Philippines, which is in Manila, and continue the fight in seeking for reforms for the country, demonstrated his willpower. So pagbalik niya sa Pilipinas it was admirable value considering that he could live longer and do the things that really he wanted the most in abroad. So, nibalik din si Rizal sa Pilipinas biskan pwede siya makadahan siya buluhaton dito sa abroad, which is he can do freely, but nibalik dito sa Pilipinas para mag-fight siya sa iyang kuan. So also Rizal he had ability to control and restrain himself. So the next one is honesty. So Jose Rizal was honest to himself, so especially dedicating himself in the service of fellow men. So he was honest to the extent that he never tolerated such as unrightful actions that would cause danger to the integrity of other Filipinos who were longing for independence. So dili niya ginatolerate ang mga tao nga mga dili maayo ang ilang decision, so dili niya ginatolerate na madili mag-cause of danger. So next one is the noble conduct. So Jose Rizal possessed a noble character. This purity of thought and clean behavior enabled Rizal to have conscience and uptight thinking. So Jose Rizal reminded all mothers to awaken the mind of a child and from in him or her desirable traits and ideas. So Jose Rizal is nag-remind po siya sa tanan mothers nga ipukawon ang mga hunahuna sa mga bata gikan sa desirable trait or any idea. So, and the next one is the love fellow men. So Sir Rizal had taught us to always consider the welfare of others, as he said, let us not be nasty in our judgment, but let us think well for our fellow men. So Jose Rizal is kuan po siya nga dili ta mag-judge nga kanang lain nga nasty ana, dapat kay maguna po ta sa ato ang fellow men. So the next is he reminded everyone who have lost the spirit of helping others. So ginatabangan pod I mean iha pong gina-remind pod niya ang tanan nga lost this who have lost the spirit of helping others kung sa
Healthy everyone. So, my topic for today is all about self-sacrifice, fortitude of preference, love of parents, love of the country, and lastly is devotion to truth. So now, let's go to the first. First is self-sacrifice. Sacrifice. Self-sacrifice is a value because of his self-denial. As a result, this means he gave up his own desire for a better reason or causes. So Jose Rizal admired for his self-denial, which means putting the needs of the others and the country before his own personal wants. So si Rizal nagadman siya nga isa siya ka self-denial kaya naman. Masunahon pa ni Rizal ang needs sa ibang tao kaysa sa iyang kaugalingon maski pag ang kapalit sa iyahang pagtabang is ang kamatayon. Great effort to secure the welfare of the country and his fellow men. Nakukayod effort sa time ni Rizal nga i-secure niya ang welfare sa atong country in a good way. Then, self-denial implies self-sacrifice, love, and humanity. So now, let's move to number 2, which is fortitude of perseverance. Fortitude or perseverance. Jose Rizal practiced fortitude particularly in serving the country. So, maskin grabe na kalisod ang kinabuhi ni Rizal, mas nag-courage gapon siya to keep going despite sa mga difficulties. Fortitude in any undertaking requires an hope. Rizal is staying strong and hopeful even when the path is hard. So now let's move to the next is love of parents. Jose Rizal is always admired his parents. Si Rizal is dako kay siya respect o appreciate sa ilahang family. He is so fond of his father and his mother being devout and diligent. Si Rizal's mother are also regarded by Jose Rizal as remarkable woman. Let's move to the number 4. 4 is love of the country. Love of the country. Jose Rizal was so focused on dedicating himself to his fatherland. His sacrifice are his greatest manifestation of fullness of his pag-ibig sa kinabuang lupa. Jose Rizal love of the country means dedicating your life and talents to the good of your nation. So now, let's proceed to the last. The last is devotion to the truth. Jose Rizal never stopped in searching for the truth when he was still alive. So, wala gyud yung dang si Rizal o pangitag agi para lang makuha niya ang justice for his country. Jose Rizal admired Panini because of this value. He continued to seek for what is right and look for solution for the country during the problems. So sa pagkamatay ni Rizal, daghan tagadmar sa iya tungod sa iyang value. Value to this, leaders should have honesty, integrity, and focus on finding solutions.
So, good day everyone. Before I continue the topic, so we all know naman diba na si Jose Rizal is not our only national hero but also a symbol of wisdom, courage, and love of our country. Until now, his values and principles continue to inspire every Filipino. So, in this presentation, we will discuss the importance of values that Rizal show through his life and how we can apply this lesson in our daily lives. So now, let us talk about serenity. A man is a serene if he has an unruffled mind. Serenity of spirit stems from a strong personal discipline. Rizal related a conversation between a school teacher and Crisostomo Ibarra to know the problems of learning and teaching. So, Rizal regard for tranquility of spirit physical and moral repose and willingness is never timelier than today. So, serenity means having a calm and peaceful mind, even during difficult situations. According to Jose Rizal, a person becomes serene through strong personal discipline and self-control. Rizal also showed this value in his writing. He used conversation between characters like Crisostomo Ibarra and the school teacher to explain the problems in education and society. Instead of using violence, Rizal believed that wisdom, peace, and understanding were important in creating change. So, hangtod karon ang serenity importante Japon because many people face stress, pressure, and problems in life. So, Rizal remind us to stay calm, think wisely, and remain disciplined. So, next is self-direction. It is a person's readiness to think of conduct and ability to carry out his own responsibility. One's initiative is a must for our society to progress. Jose Rizal never turned down himself to help our country. He proved himself in his initiative to help his fellow men to learn and educate themselves, especially on how to stand and be conscious of what was happening in our country. So, self-direction means being responsible for your own actions and having initiative to do what is right without waiting to others to tell you. And Jose Rizal became an example of this value because he used his knowledge and talents to help the country. He educated Filipinos and encouraged them to become aware of what was happening in society. So, Rizal proved that one person with courage and initiative can inspire by many people. So, as a students, no, we can apply self-direction by studying hard, becoming responsible, and helping others in our simple ways. So, another important value of Jose Rizal is self-control. This value or lesson is needed by everyone. The will acts only in seeking what is good. This is the reason why we must take great care in presenting only good ideas to the will. Jose Rizal showed much self-control in his lifetime. Two important examples are worth recalling. During his study days in Madrid, he manifested self-control. Once he visited the house of the Paterno brothers, Antonio, Maximo, and Pedro. They showed they showed him their house, and Rizal was thankful for their hospitality. When Pedro proposed that Rizal exhibit the pictures he refused. So, self self-control is the ability to manage our emotions, actions, and decisions. So Rizal believed that people should always choose what is good and right. So during his stays in Madrid, Rizal showed discipline and humility. So one example was when he visited the Paterno brothers, even though they encouraged him to display his outworks, but Rizal politely refused because he remained humble and controlled. So this teach us that what truth strength is not about showing off, but about controlling ourselves and making wise decisions. So now let's move us to courtesy and politeness. Politeness and courtesy are virtues that give harmony and charm in our daily life. Courtesy is graceful and considerate behavior toward others. It demands attention, politeness, and refinement. Politeness is a quality of being well-bred. Jose Rizal possessed these values as he has manifested them during his education years. So, this courtesy means showing by respect, kindness, and considerate towards other. Politeness help create harmony and good relationship in daily life. So Jose Rizal showed these values especially during his years as a student. He treated people with respect regardless of their status in life. So, hangtod karon, simple actions like saying, please, thank you, opo, po, by respecting others already show courtesy. Rizal teach us that good manners reflect good character. So the next value is gratitude. Jose Rizal was thankful during his lifetime. He was grateful to his family, friends, and comrades for the time shared. Gratitude is the value for all the blessings received by God. So, Jose Rizal was very thankful because he appreciated his family, friends, and companions who supported him in his journey. And gratitude means appreciating the blessings we receive from God and the people around us. Rizal reminds us not to take things for granted and to always value those who help us. As students, we can show gratitude by respecting our parents, teachers, and friends by appreciating every opportunity given to us. For the last value is love for justice. Justice is the moral habit by which a man gives to another what he is due. A man with a good conscience finds joy in being just. In Jose Rizal's time, he sought for justice, particularly for his family and for his countrymen. So, justice means giving people what is rightful due to them. Rizal fought for justice not only for himself but also for his family and fellow Filipinos who experienced abuse and inequality during the Spanish colonization. Though his writings and peaceful reforms, Rizal bravely defended the right of Filipinos. He became the voice of those who could not speak for themselves. So, hangtod karon, Rizal love for justice inspire us to stand for truth.